Valley Center City Council meeting for November 1st, 2022 is now in session. I'm giving you 1 second before I tell you to call roll. Roll call.
Mayor Cicerillo,
Here.
Councilmember Stam, Councilmember Evans,
Here.
Councilmember Bass,
Here.
Councilmember Anderson,
Here.
Councilmember Gregory,
Here.
Councilmember Kerstetter,
Here.
Councilmember Wilson,
Here.
Councilmember Colbert.
Here.
Please rise for the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray. Father God, we thank you for this day. This is a day that you've made. So because of that, may we have that heart and attitude that says, I'll rejoice in it. Lord, I pray that through the conversations tonight that you would get the glory, that they would find themselves rejoicing, not because they're making decisions according to the wisdom of man, but may they do it to please you. God, your kingdom is a paradox to our world. And God, you said, blessed are the peacemakers, for they are children of God. And so I pray, Lord, as they walk through the agenda tonight, that you would give them wisdom, favor, and grace, and a unity, and that you'd be glorified in every decision made, that we would honor you and truly be children of God. I pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All righty. Item 5, approval of the agenda.
Move to approve the agenda as presented. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hands. Motion carries. Item 6, administration agenda 6A, city council meeting minutes, October 18th, 2022.
Move to approve the minutes of the October 18th, 2022 regular council meeting as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hands. Motion carries. Caught up here. All right, moving on to item 7, presentations and proclamations. We have a presentation, item A, Innovation Award recognition.
Mr. Smith, come on up. You want to, or do you want to?
I thought you might want to say something first,
Nope.
but I can.
So, Mr. Barry Smith, our amazing, incredible assistant city administrator and director of finance, recently attended the Kansas GFOA conference, where he actually does sit on the board for that organization and received an incredible award for his talents when it comes to an innovation award. Mayor?
And as we all know, Mr. Smith's skill set and in doing his budgeting and his mapping for the capital improvement project, which is what he got this award for it, and I'll read what it says here, using Google Earth to map capital projects inside their CIP. Okay. That is just so small of a chunk of why he deserves this. I know I speak for everybody, and we can't thank you enough. Me being in the technology business, I just, as you know, I pretty much drop my jaw every time you come up with something cool, because it's like, this is where we should have been years ago. And from the bottom of my heart, I think you are just phenomenal in this and appreciate it. And that award is well deserved. Alrighty. My favorite part. Proclamations. We have 2 proclamations to read tonight. The first one is the Military Appreciation Month proclamation. Whereas the freedom and security that citizens of the United States enjoy today are direct results of the bloodshed and continued vigilance given by our United States Armed Forces over the history of our great nation. And whereas the sacrifices that such members of the United States Armed Forces and of the family members that support them have preserved the liberties that have enriched this nation, making it unique in the world community. And whereas we are celebrating November 11th, 2022, Veterans Day, we are calling on all Americans to remember those who gave their lives in defense of freedom and to honor the men and women of all our armed services who have served and are now serving our country together with their families. And whereas we celebrate Victory in Europe Day, Military Spouse Day, Loyalty Day, Armed Forces Day week, National Day of Prayer, Memorial Day, Navy Day, Army Day, and Flag Day. Therefore, I call upon all citizens to display the flag of the United States and to participate in activities in the community. I therefore call on all Americans, including civic and fraternal organizations, places of worship, school, to support this day with commemorative expressions and programs. Now, therefore, I, Lou Cicerello, Mayor of the City of Valley Center, Kansas, does hereby proclaim the month of November 2022 as a special time to show appreciation for our military and proclaim it as Military Appreciation Month in the City of Valley Center, Kansas, and encourage all citizens to join me in showing our gratitude by the appropriate display of flags, flags and ribbons during the designated period. I want to add one more item to that. All righty. And National American Indian Heritage Month. Whereas the history and culture of our great nation have been significantly influenced by American Indians and indigenous peoples. And whereas the contributions of American Indians have enhanced the freedom, prosperity, and greatness of America today. And whereas their customs and traditions are respected and celebrated as part of the rich legacy throughout the United States. Whereas Native American Awareness Week began in 1976 and recognition was expanded by Congress and approved by President George Bush in August 1990, designating the month of November as National American Indian Heritage Month. And whereas in honor of National American Indian Heritage Month, community celebrations as well as numerous cultural, artistic, educations, and historical activities have been planned. Now, therefore, I, Lou Cicerello, Mayor of the City of Valley Center, Kansas, hereby proclaim the month of November 2022 as National American Indian Heritage Month and urge all citizens to observe this month with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. All right, moving right along. We are at the point in the meeting with the public forum. This is the time for anybody that's here in the audience to speak to an item that is not on the agenda. Seeing none, we will move on. We have no appointments. Old business, item A, Ridgefield HOA speed limit.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. It's about a month and a half now ago, the Ridgefield HOA had come in and made a request to lower the speed limit in that addition, as well as the addition of a few signs, deaf child at play, children at play, special needs children at play, and then some signage around the park there. I've submitted the a memo that you have before you. I know a month ago, Director Eggleston had presented you with the speed study that they did. At this time, staff is recommending not to change the speed limit. But the signage, as far as the deaf child at play and some of those signs of council wishes, we would agree with that as long as they meet the standards of the MUTCD. Any questions?
Council? So it's clear based on the numbers that the speeds aren't as being perceived as bad as what people see. Now, I for one do see cars going down even Goff that I think are probably going faster than 30. What I think we might want to do, and it's up to the council, of course, is look into speed humps. Okay, not speed bumps, but speed humps. I mean, they're used quite regularly throughout the neighborhoods in Wichita, I've noticed. I was up in Lawrence for band competition, and of course, they're all over the place up around the school. I did a little research on them, and you know, the speed hump is not, you know, is a longer type of a lower, but a longer range type deal. It's an asphalt thing. There's specifications. There's you know, specs on how that's done. So if like I said, it's not up to me, but I would think we might want to start thinking about that. I mean, we've gotten multiple requests from multiple of the neighborhoods, you know, that are really not what I would say is not really affecting other areas. But it's something that I've thought about a lot and might be something we might want to look into.
And we do have with us this evening the Ridgefield HOA president, Jim. Yes, Jim, that would like to address you as well before we do make any formal action.
Okay.
So I will go ahead and turn over to him, Mayor, if that's okay with you.
Yes.
Thank you for your time. I read what I think is the report, and although I felt it was pretty good, obviously I'm going to disagree with it. If you could see, maybe if you think 20 miles an hour is too much of a reduction, we certainly would entertain 25. I think the speed humps might be a good start. Certainly speed bumps wouldn't be, because you get more flack from that than anything else. I appreciate your recognizing the special needs and the jet depth family. I just visited with them probably about an hour ago, and they will be very much appreciative of any signage you could put up that would indicate to people that are unaware that there is a deaf mute family there and that they can't hear or speak. So I think that's a good start. If we can't come to some agreement, and you think I would like to potentially table the speed issue on it for a future date, and maybe we can have some more data from the community that we live in, and potentially redirect it. But I appreciate the signage that you want to do for the families, and I know they'd be very appreciative. And I would also like for you to really consider 25. Just when I drove through there were, I counted probably 8 kids playing in the streets, and I know as a parent that's not a good thing, but good things often have consequences. So thank you very much for your time.
Mayor and Council, and that is something that we can do is table this. I'm sure they probably haven't had an HOA meeting in the middle of us discussing this topic for you to discuss as a group. Have you had an HOA meeting in between here? Okay. So, I mean, that is
and
an option.
and the fact that if we follow staff's recommendations, it's still available to come back. It doesn't.
Absolutely.
So we're not voting. We're not just saying no. We're just, if we take that, just so there's an understanding there. Councilmember Colbert.
Yeah, I've got 2 questions. This might be a minor thing. On when you're doing the counting on the roads, you said you put a survey across town. How many cars? for vehicles. On the board.
Oh, it's up there.
Yeah.
Good job.
Okay, when was the last time that was calibrated? Yeah,
Are you talking about the equipment itself, council
Yes.
member Colbert? Yes, it's calibrated every time when they actually lay it across the road. They calibrate the system.
okay, that's the first one. The second one, as far as the playground area there, is there any chance of maybe closing it in, putting a fence around it, so?
That is council member Colbert. That is an HOA playground. It's not a city-owned playground, so that's something that the HOA absolutely can do themselves.
Thank you.
Councilmember Kerstetter.
So, couple things. So I, as far as the signage, is that something that is it ordered? Is it need to be ordered after today, or is it something that we have in stock?
We should, I don't know where. I would think we have a deaf child. We've used those before and I know we've taken them down.
Okay.
But
So
any
some-
other signage.
Some of it could be
I'm
put up
sure.
this week if we have it in stock, basically. But the others would have to order.
So yes, once of course once proper locates are called,
Right.
and we check the
Oh.
condition of the signs if we do have ones that we've used prior, making sure they're high
Meet the
res
standards.
and high vis and those things.
Okay. I'm just curious. I didn't know what the lead times are since our supply chain is having issues. One thing that would be nice, and I think would be nice in a lot of different neighborhoods. Not that this isn't happening, but some enforcement. And like I said, I know it's happening. I saw your third quarter report, so I know stuff's happening. But some of this is like, especially with Goff, those straight shot streets that our high schoolers kind of forget that they're in the neighborhood.
So
Yep.
when the counters were out, we stayed off that road on purpose, not to skew the numbers.
Right.
And then, as soon as they picked them up, we were out there. And there were no citations.
Okay. Well, and that's sometimes just presence is good too. I've seen communities just put a empty cop car, and that helped out a lot too.
We have moved our sign trailer that has a radar on it. We
Mhm.
moved that over to that neighborhood as well.
Okay.
We tried the enforcement of the officers first, and then had no fine over there.
Okay. That's I actually like that sign. It's nice to know that my speedometer is working sometimes.
Mine's pretty high.
Oh yeah.
Councilmember Evans.
Is there sidewalks in that neighborhood?
No. Is there?
There is on part of it, yeah. Yeah.
There are sections of it.
Yeah.
So from the entrance of the I apologize.
Yeah.
From the entrance of the subdivision on the east side of the road, it wraps around the playground area. There's a nice crosswalk that was recently installed in that area as well that has flashing beacons at the request. That was a partnership, of course, with the school district and the city of Valley Center. And so there is sidewalks there on the east side of the road. Now, through the cul-de-sacs and through Wakefield and those areas, not entirely.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Kerstetter.
Apologize. I had one more thing. So what do you need from us tonight? So my 2 cents is signage, and then we can table the rest. I don't know if reducing the speed limit right now is
I don't think we actually have to even authorize, just say, yeah, I mean, the fact that the signs is not something I don't think we have to authorize through a motion. No.
Oh, okay.
I would
No.
recommend that at this
No.
time, so we don't have anything prepared as far as the policy. If you want us to come back with that, I mean, it just slows the process down. We can go stick up, the deaf, children at play or deaf family in the area, whatever the signage exactly says. We can absolutely add that. I would recommend to table the speed limit until the HOA has an ample opportunity to discuss as the HOA membership. And then also advise staff to further explore the humps.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Councilmember Bass.
After it was lowered in Prairie Lakes, wasn't it lowered to 20?
Mhm.
So we do another speed count after that to see if it even made a difference.
Good question.
Great question.
That is a great question.
Really good question. My guess is it doesn't make a difference, but maybe.
Public Works Director Eggleston.
Might be a worthwhile just to see.
Did it make a difference with some? Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure it did. It slowed them down. But we still have speeders. We still get complaints. We still work that area. And sitting in the neighborhoods is a little different for some reason. It's not as easy to catch the speeders. You can lower the speed limit. There's still going to be people speed, perhaps more people speed.
Hence my suggestion of the speed humps. So we have a motion and second on the floor. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hands. Motion carries. Thank you. Thanks. Okay, new business item A, Gold Star Award.
In October, I went to the league conference, and as part of that is the Kansas Municipal Insurance Trust annual meeting, and that is our workman's comp carrier. And at that meeting, it was announced the Gold Star winners, and the Gold Star Award is presented to cities who have achieved a good safety record and practices good safety. We have a safety committee that looks at any accident that happens. And so we did receive the Gold Star Award. This does qualify the city to receive a 5% discount on our workman's comp insurance premiums. And I just like to say that this is entirely because our employees do practice good safety procedures as they're working and take the safety of everyone very seriously. So they didn't pass out the little certificates or the little trophies there. They're going to mail them, and they haven't mailed them yet. But we have gotten the award. It's in black and white. So, and then, Britt, will you take over?
We could have used one of the many we have in the back. As you know, this is a gold standard. And yes, thank all the employees for their hard work and dedication. And I would recommend to the mayor and council that we recognize all the hard work as we've done in the past with the paid day off. This year, the way Christmas falls, of course, we would recommend December 23rd. And then also the $100 after tax bonus for all full-time employees and $50 bonus for all less than full-time employees. Same for any questions. Thank you, Christy, for always attending and making sure things are taken care of with KMIT.
Councilmember Stam.
Awesome idea. Is there a reason you picked the 23rd and not the Monday after Christmas?
We thought that, with the combination of how the leave is in our handbook, that the 23rd is what most employees had wanted that additional day, and then we have that Monday off with it falling on Sundays.
Okay, that was my question too.
All righty. Any other questions? Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approval of the grant one additional pay day off on December 23rd, 2022. And $100 after tax bonus be paid to full-time employees, and a $50 bonus to be paid to less than full-time employees who've worked at least $100.
Second. I have a motion to second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hands. Motion carries. All right, moving on to item B, resolution 723-22, increase in FSA carryover.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is a quick resolution tonight, just as we did in 2020 when we raised the annual carryover amount for our FSA benefit for all of our employees. The IRS just announced that it is increasing up to $610 our employees are allowed to carry over for that next plan year. So this is just formally adopting that increase on our end.
Questions? Councilmember Kerstetter.
Oh, this is probably because it's a city, but why do we have to have a resolution every time the IRS changes this?
It's more of the requirements of our FSA vendor. They just like a formal approval from the governing body. That's all.
Just curious.
Normally with the normal inflation adjustments from the IRS, that's fine, but they just like to have a formal approval.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Motion to approve resolution 723-22, amending the City of Alliance Center plan to increase the amount of FSA dollars from 550 to 610.
Second.
I have a motion and second.
One of them.
One of them, yeah, pick one. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hands. Motion carries. Thank you. Item C, Ford Street change order.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight, I'm requesting approval of a change order for Wildcat in the amount of $48,457.18 for the Ford Street construction project. This just covers the additional cost for the transition on the North Seneca realignment. The original plans and bid documents showed those turn lanes north of Ford skinning to 2 lanes and then connecting into existing Seneca. Now that we got the KDOT cost share project for Seneca improvements and know that in the future that Seneca will be widened to 3 lanes, and this being concrete instead of asphalt, it makes more sense to go ahead and extend the 3 lanes on that North Seneca line or lanes, just so you're jointing and stuff in the future, and expanding that to 3 lanes doesn't get messy. So it just makes sense to capture it in the Ford Street project instead of the Seneca project.
Any questions?
Make a motion to approve change order number 2 for the Seneca realignment on 4th Street, amount of $48,457.18.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hands. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-1. Thank you. Okay, item D, ordinance 1383-22, repeal and replacement of the City of Valley Center floodplain management regulation. Mr. Schrack, fill in. Mr. Clark.
Would you like me to begin to explain now or wait till public comment?
Well,
Public hearing, it's up to you.
yeah, I was kind of confused about this myself prior.
Yes, absolutely. And so this is repealing and replacing for the National Floodplain Insurance Program. What this allows us to do, as you read here in Mr. Schrack's incredible memo, as he always puts, it allows us to be eligible, all of us, for a 15% discount on our homeowners insurance by participating in the National Floodplain Insurance Program, as well as allows our residents to purchase flood insurance if they are in the floodplain areas, as well as if we do ever flood, we do have to have this type of floodplain management regulation in place in order for us to receive FEMA mitigation money. So if we do flood for some reason, some natural event or natural cause, then we are eligible for FEMA reimbursement, not only for damages, but then also for the mitigation thereafter for all the cleanup.
Okay. Now with that synopsis, it is 7:31 and I will open the public hearing. It's 7:31 and 18 seconds, by the way. Is there anyone here to speak on this item? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing at 7:31:34. As soon as I get caught up, I'll call for the motion. Unless there's any other discussion by council.
I have a question.
Councilmember Gregory.
Where can I find the floodplain maps?
And so the floodplain maps are available for inspection in the floodplain administrator's office. So there are firm maps that Mr. Schrack does have. Also online, and so it's much easier. I'm going to tell you this now.
Well,
much easier.
I looked, but I didn't find them.
Oh, I can send you out a link.
Okay.
I believe there also is a link on our website underneath the community development section. There should be in there some floodplain information that shows you the firm maps, and then you can type in your address and those things. So very interactive. I know when I was the floodplain administrator in previous communities, we had a lot of folks look at for their own homeowners insurance, and always to ask their agent, which I encourage everybody, always ask your agent to make sure that you're getting the discount, because sometimes those little ones slip through the cracks, just like your home security system. If you have a Ring doorbell or have a security system on the front and back of your house of some sort, you get a discount. So make sure you check on those. Flood insurance, same thing.
And how does this affect the new developments that are going in?
And so this is, if you recall, this is one of the justifications, reasoning for the TIF district to actually happen and to be considered in the TIF district, is because majority was in a floodplain. What this is going to then do once we actually get that area, working with the Corps of Engineers, excavated and get that base flood elevation lowered, it would actually amend and change that firm map panel. And so that panel, the entire BFE or the base flood elevation will be reduced for that section of our community. And so that's just for the Iron Horse development, where we have Trails End, Prairie Lakes, and now the other ones do not necessarily have any floodplain issues related to them. Cedar Ridge has a little bit of floodplain on some of the lots on the north side of the first 6 lots in that subdivision. We're off of Seneca Street, but they're not going to build in those areas. Those are just going to be kind of, part of their Lot A reserve. And so where they actually build, that won't be in the floodplain, and then have to get that removed. But there are just some Clomar Fs or Lomar Fs that will have to be filled out for that. Arbor Valley has no floodplain issues.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Move to approve ordinance 1383-22, repeal and replacement of the City of Valley Center's floodplain management regulations for first reading.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hands. Motion carries. Thank you. Item E, approval of farmland agreement.
Good evening again. Before you this evening is a farm rental agreement. This is the section of land that was donated earlier this year by Mr. Herb Ray, which we appreciate his donation. As we try to navigate and really figure out what we want to do with this property, this ground was being farmed. Is being farmed by the same person and family for many, many years. Of course, sometimes in the private sector, those are done by handshake agreements. Well, for a municipality, we like to have things in writing. And so this is just a farm rental agreement that breaks down the percentage of profit, which is going to be an 80-20 split. We will have no cost when it comes to fertilizer, no expense when it comes to working the ground, irrigation, any of those things. And so that's why the 80-20 split, where you do see sometimes some other, splits of the profit. But however, with the way that the City of Valley Center functions and operates, we felt that this was sufficient and adequate. I did reach out to the Central County Extension Office, and they said that this does fall in line really with other surrounding municipalities when it comes to not having any stake in the fertilizer or working the ground. So they said that the 20% is very good. I'll stand for any questions.
Council, seeing no questions, is there a motion?
Move to approve rental agreement between City and Valley Center and James Boat.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hands. Motion carries. Thank you. Item F, Main Street closure for Christmas events request. Mr. Strunk is going to present.
Yeah, just requesting closure of the 100 block of West Main Street on December 2nd for Hometown Christmas. Do the Christmas tree lighting event again. Also have Santa Claus. We'll have the madrigals and the bands and the fire trucks
and the mayor.
And we did in the letter ask them if the mayor would deliver an address for us. Would like for you to do it again, Mayor. So anyway, that's stand for any questions, but just closing between the times that are listed there in the letter. 6 to. Thank you.
Questions from council? Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve closure of Main Street on December 2nd from 6 to 9 p.m. for hometown Christmas events.
Second.
I have a motion, a second. Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor, if I could please real quick, I do want to acknowledge and thank the Main Street Valley Center organization for actually purchasing the Christmas tree this year. And so they did pay for the Christmas tree, which Parks Director, Parks and Public Buildings, Director Owens did actually already put our name on, and it is growing as we speak.
Great. We have a motion, a second on the floor. All in favor, raise your hands. Motion carries. Item 12, consent agenda.
Motion to approve consent agenda as presented.
Second.
I have a motion, a second. All in favor, raise your hands. Motion carries. Moving on to staff reports. Start with Mr. Owens. Great. Chief Newman.
I included my third quarter report. Stand up for any questions if you have any.
Yep, don't say anything. Thank you, sir. Mr. Eggleston. Mr. Shear. Mr. Arbuckle. Mr. Smith.
Just a few items real quick. We did post the opening for the city treasurer position, so please share that with anyone you know who would like to come join our team. Greatly appreciate that. Tomorrow we are going live with the multi-factor authentication project. So I think Brent sent out some information to all the governing body regarding the password changes and the number to contact if you have any problems tomorrow logging in.
Yeah.
We'll send out some additional instructions.
Yes. I haven't had to change my password and I'm still accessing everything. So just so you know, I've been updating Mr. Clark on this, that I've still been going in and
I haven't really heard much.
Yeah, so.
Heard anybody, so I will get on that first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Oh, no, you can wait.
No, yeah, there's no rush. Nope.
No, wait.
No rush. As long as I'm accessing it, I'm good. Yeah.
See, it didn't work for me until you have to log into a computer. So I was able to access the phone, and then once I logged in,
Right.
my computer,
Which is why I'm thinking we may never be prompted for it.
Mr. Smith will look into that. We'll be in touch with you on.
I did log into my computer today.
Yeah.
Might need to be on site.
Yeah, I think it's not affecting 365. It's just local is what I'm thinking. But can be done in 365. It should be part of that. And just what I'm saying, if we're going to do this, it should be part of the office package as well. But just all right. Anybody else?
Having the ability to change your own password when you have an email-only account adds an extra layer of risk, actually, because if someone does get your password, they can instantly change it themselves. So that's why that option is not available for the council members. It must be done either on-site or through IT for that purpose. But if you log all the way out and sign all the way out of all sessions on there, it should prompt you when you log in.
Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, I'm not.
Password saved on your phone, your device, or whatever, it's just going to automatically save it on there and keep you logged in. So you must go into settings and sign out of all sessions across all devices. Because you can be logged in 10 different things. And if one's still logged in, you're still going to be logged in. Yeah, so after that, tomorrow we'll have to download the Microsoft Authenticator app. And next time you sign in, you'll just click yes when it prompts you. Just a quick wellness update. The YMCA is no longer administering our wellness programs moving forward for next year. So we got the wellness committee together. We decided to partner with Marquee Wellness. They're going to build out a whole online portal for our employees to track their progress, make sure they're meeting their goals, etc. Provide some online coaching with dietitians, nutritionists, whatever. And it's all for 50% of the cost, which was awesome. And also at our next meeting, we will have a budget amendment meeting where we can set a public hearing for our budget amendment for our TIF, pool and rec, possibly streets. So, thank you.
Councilmember Sam.
Quick question on the Microsoft Authenticator. I have that for when I work from home. Is that going to mess up?
It should have a second option on the app.
You can have, they finally fixed that. That was a problem with Authenticator, but they've rectified that because you can have multiple accounts, which I do. And I don't think, I don't have one for Valley Center, which means we're going to probably need some kind of QR code in order to hook this up.
That should be sent out in the morning.
Okay.
The QR code will take
Yeah,
you
no,
directly to
but
the
you
app
have to
and
understand
download.
if they nuke our passwords, we can't get into our email. We can't get to the QR code. Just that's happened in the past. Just keep that in mind. All right.
The information in that email has that direct line. I would just suggest calling.
The email that I won't be able to open after. I'm messing with you. I got it. I got it.
I can write down the number for you, Mayor. Give it to you before you leave. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll just bother Brent. That's all. All right, Mr. Clark, you're up.
Good evening. As you all have, I'm sure, been traveling daily on Ford Street, on the new section to the east of the floodway. That is a nice new paved section of roadway. So nice new concrete on the south side that folks are driving on now. Do apologize for the inconvenience. They are working on the entrance to Prairie Lakes right now as we speak this week, and so it's been an inconvenience to everybody. As they're working, they're trying to keep access open. So please use caution when you're driving in that area. Literally, they have somebody standing out there. They're shoveling rock, trying to fill it in as people are driving on it, because that's part of construction. So please be patient. The road construction, the workers out there, they're trying to do their job just like everybody else. And so please, if you have concerns, questions, call City Hall. Don't get out of your vehicles and try to address those people working. It's only going to take longer. So give me a call. Also, too, it is a special day. Not just a council meeting, not just November, but it is Heather's birthday. So Heather Von Belt, thank you so much for being here tonight, and happy birthday. Thank you for spending it with us. That's all.
I have a question for Mr. Clark.
Oh, we have a question for Mr. Clark, for Mr. Councilmember Anderson.
Do we have an update on our pool renovation, and are we on track to have the pool open as scheduled next year? I was across from the pool today and realized that we haven't torn a bunch of stuff up yet and didn't know what our schedule was, so I thought I'd ask.
Yes and yes.
Okay.
We are, and so that will actually, it was going to be an item on this agenda. They did solicit and take bids for the work done at the existing pool at Lions Park renovation. We're working through each individual contractor and bid, which is a bonus for us to be able to do it underneath the method that you all decided. And so we're negotiating those prices with the electrician, the plumbers, the concrete, the painters, and we just weren't quite ready to present for this meeting. We still are on track to have the pool vessel itself with the guttering and a lot of those items done for next pool season. We are kind of looking at maybe holding off or maybe phasing the splash pad. The splash pad came in substantially more than what we budgeted. We went back to the contractors and asked why, and they go the time frame. And so we might, be able to save, $400,000 to $800,000 if we just maybe hold off on necessarily the splash pad, get everything else done with the renovation to the actual existing pool. Maybe wait one more, I know it'll be tough, but just one more season with the pool in the way that it is now, and potentially do that splash pad for then the pool season of 2024. But it'll be well worth the wait, especially if we can save the substantial, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think it would be worth the sales tax funds to do that. That splash pad will be located just south of the diving boards. The fence will remain, so don't think that people can just run into the deep end, but it will take over kind of parts of that sand volleyball court that is kind of underutilized. And so that sand volleyball court will kind of be repurposed, and there's great access there that we can use existing sidewalks. The committee's been working hard on navigating all these issues and concerns. I encourage everybody from the public to watch the committee meetings that are on our YouTube page. You can also access those by the Agenda Center underneath of the pool and recreation subcommittee, however that's labeled. But
thank you.
Yes.
I figured we would probably start construction. I knew since we hadn't gotten any rain, we hadn't started yet. So as soon as we start construction, it'll probably rain for 6 or 7 months. So
majority of the construction was planned all along to really happen in the spring.
Okay.
And so from that, kind of February, March to Memorial is when they believe they can get everything done.
Perfect.
We did meet with some folks out there, some painters today. Neil Owens and I did, to discuss maybe some unique perspectives on the paint on the outside of the exterior buildings.
Thank you.
Great question.
Thank you. Okay, governing body reports. While back, council, we approved that blessing box to be put up at Emporia in Maine. We received a wonderful, put that up here first, thank you from the troop. If you would mind taking that. Thank you. Don't give up your day job. So I would like to thank them for the thank you. That was very nice of them. Other than that, I don't believe I have anything. So Councilmember Stan.
I can thank the police department for, you talked about earlier, making a presence in the neighborhood. I seen them in our neighborhood last night, stopping, talking to kids, getting at them. I don't know if they were giving them candy or smacking them around because they were misbehaving.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
No, but it's good seeing them at the presence out there.
Councilmember Evans.
I have nothing, sir.
Councilmember Bass.
Nothing for me.
Councilmember Anderson.
Remember that early voting has started, and to avoid waiting until next Tuesday, I know the lines I've already heard the lines are 20, 30-minute wait pretty much all day and sometimes longer. And I'm definitely going to take advantage of that so I don't have to wait for 2.5 hours like I did last election day.
Councilmember Gregory.
Yes, and don't forget to turn your clocks back this weekend.
They turn back automatically these days.
Some do, some don't. Also, we have a Sedgwick County Association of Cities meeting on November 12th in Hayesville.
Councilmember Kerstetter.
I have nothing. Thank you.
Councilmember Wilson.
I have nothing either.
Councilmember Colbert.
I have nothing. If there's no other business before the council, make a motion the meeting be adjourned.
Second.
Motion is second to adjourn. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, council.
My grandfather clock has it set itself.